in my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Wraith here with another video. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why you're not improving in Fortnite and why it feels like you might have plateaued, or no matter how much practice you're putting in, you just don't seem like you're getting better. Trust me, I feel like that a lot, but there's always a couple things I do to kind of help push me through that level and try and get to the next one. And I'll be giving you guys 5 tips that hopefully will help you guys fix that kind of problem and actually start improving at an extremely fast rate. I also, if you guys don't know, have a Discord, link in the description, or you can just come out and check out my Twitch, WraithAM on Twitch, or link in the description as well. But yeah, if you guys are looking forward to this video, make sure you slap a like button, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and let's get right into today's tip. So the first tip I'm going to give is not staying up to date with the meta. So basically, every single couple days or even every week or something, there's always new things being discovered. Whether it's a good new high ground retake, whether it's a cool box fighting method, edit with a ramp you can do to make it so the opponent has no shot on you. Whatever the case is, there's always something new that people find every single day. Sometimes even every week or so, there's a big thing that people find that you can start putting into your game to give you the best opportunity of winning every single fight. Again, like I said, whether it's a building method, whether it's an editing method, whether it's a box fighting method, or a new phase trick to get into people's boxes. There's so many things that people come up with, just little tricks here or there, that obviously it's going to be very situational. But say if you have 15 different little tips and tricks and another person doesn't, well then you have a better chance of basically killing them in a fight. So for example, if you learn how to do a ramp dash, obviously it's not going to be that useful in most case scenarios, but just yesterday I was playing and I was stuck in storm and I ramp dashed to use around 500 mats because I had to, and I got out of the storm with 2 HP. If I didn't learn how to ramp dash, I would have died way before getting out of there. Just small things like that can actually help you in game. Even if you don't realize it and you're like, okay, I'm never going to use this, it's still worth it just to learn how to do it. Same thing with box phase and tricks. If you know how to do a cool box phase and tricks that not many people know how to do or counter, well then all you have to do is phase into someone's box, place a ramp, edit the ramp, and shoot them before they even know what hit them. There's so many small things that you can practice that may not seem very useful or maybe very situational, but trust me, it's still worth learning. Same with a high ground retake. You may only use it a couple times every couple games, but it's still worth learning, because if you do it and they don't know how to counter it, well then you're golden. Now the next tip I'm going to be giving is wasting your time not practicing and not trying to improve at things you suck at. So basically what I mean about that is it's okay to just play solos if you're actually working on specific things. For example, if you're working on side jumps or making sure that you don't take as much damage in fights, that's fine. Go ahead and play solos. But if you're just playing solos to get a couple kills, whatever, maybe you win a game here or there, well then that's not really going to help you. Basically what you need to do is, if you're playing solos, you're playing arena, try and fix things that you're not good at, or try and do things that you normally wouldn't do. For example, something that I've been practicing on is when someone double or floor wall ramps towards me, I do a side jump, place a cone above their floor wall ramp, place a floor, place a wall, edit the wall, and shoot them. Basically what that means is he's stuck because of the cone, and then all I have to do is place the wall, edit the wall, and he's not going to be ready. He's going to be turning around or whatever the case is, and I can get a good shot on him. I've been practicing this one in creative, and now I'm trying to do it inside game. So I've been playing solos, trying to get someone to ramp rush towards me so I can practice that specific move. Again, it's a very situational move, but I want to make sure if it comes in a tournament or an arena game that I always can do it, and I don't mess up on it, because if I do, then that lowers my chances of winning the fight. The next thing is kind of about the same topic, is if you're practicing, make sure that you're not just playing games. Like, make sure that you're actually practicing things that you need to do. Like, if you do have bad mistakes, fix your mistakes in games. Don't just play the game to play the game. Now the next tip I'm going to give is the thing that you're probably not doing is watching pro players and analyzing pro players. Now, I'm going to admit, I kind of struggle with this one a little bit too. I'll have maybe once or twice a week where I'll just watch like Bizzle or Booga or whoever for like an hour or two and just try and analyze the best they do. I have been slacking with it a little bit because I'm more focused on improving my mechanics, etc. But for the game sense, you definitely need to watch pro players because you can figure out why they're so good and how they play. Obviously, there's a reason they're a pro player. They're doing something right. So if you can figure it out what it is and put it into your own game, I guarantee you're going to become a better player. And again, even me, a lot of people don't realize how important it is to actually watch pro players and learn from it. I was watching Booga's stream when I was just eating some breakfast yesterday, and he was talking about how he was VOD reviewing Benji for weeks and weeks and weeks because he liked how Benji's playstyle was and he wanted to play like him. And obviously it ended up working for him. He won $3 million in the World Cup. So obviously, don't spend 6-7 hours a day watching pro players if like you can play Fortnite, because obviously just having game sense is, well, it's a big deal, but you have to have some mechanical skill. But even you can watch an hour a day or something like that, or an hour every 2 days, trust me, it'll make you a way better player. Now this kind of relates back to that solo tip or whatever you want to call it. But basically, it's don't just play games. Like, don't just play solos. Don't just play arena. Don't just play trios or whatever the case is. Make sure that you're actually grinding your mechanics and certain skills. Basically, what I mean by that is creative. You need to be grinding, maybe not like hours and hours on creative. You don't need to be worrying about every single build out there. It's not that important. Just make sure that you can do the basic things like 90s, side jumps, 180 turns, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you can do that consistently so you don't mess up. Make sure you're always make sure you do them every couple days to make sure that you don't just kind of forget how to do them or you get rusty with them. Always make sure you're practicing your aiming, editing. That's a big one. Sure, you're going to get the practice in game, don't get me wrong, but if you play in creative and you do creative editing drills or creative aiming drills, they will make you better way quicker than just playing a game, as well as keep it up to date. If you're already an Unreal editor, don't just not edit anymore because you're going to lose it and you're going to become a little bit rusty. Still, even if you play every single game and you edit all the time, trust me, playing creative is very, very important. So even if you spend an hour a day on creative, it will be worth it. And again, the same thing goes for Kovacs. Kovacs is very, very important. You guys know how often I talk about it and say it's such a big deal, which I still to this day think it's the best aim trainer. But trust me, if you have Kovacs, play it for 30 minutes a day. Try your best to put a little bit of time into it. Instead of playing the extra couple solo games, go into Kovacs and just work a little bit on your aim. Now the last tip for today's video, and I've talked about this in previous videos and I've talked about this a ton, is not fixing your mistakes. I talk about this all the time, like I just said. I kind of reiterated there, but whatever. And I do this quite a bit. There's a lot of mistakes that I make in a game, and I'm sure you guys do too. Obviously, even pro players make mistakes. But for some reason, if like, for example, I used to do a really bad mistake where I would be on high ground, and every single time I damaged him a little bit or he'd box up, I just drop down instantly and he'd edit and retake high ground, and then I'm stuck on the low ground. I still make that mistake to this day, and it's been like a month, but I've been slowly trying to fix it, and now almost every fight I don't drop anymore. I still do it occasionally, don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, but I try my best to stay high and not drop down anymore. So the very important thing to keep in mind is if you find a mistake in your gameplay or you notice something that you're doing really, really bad, for example, if you're doing a left peek instead of a right peek all the time, try your best to fix it. Realize that you're doing it by watching your VODs, whatever the case is, figuring out after you died, be like, okay, why did I just die there? And if you see the same thing coming over and over again, don't let that leave your mind. Every single fight, just think to yourself, I'm right-hand peeking, I'm right-hand peeking, I'm not left-hand peeking. For me, I'll just be like, I'm not dropping down. I'm not dropping down. Unless he absolutely forces me to, I won't drop down. I'll stick height and I'll try and get good damage shots on. It's very important to realize what mistakes you're doing and fixing it. Sure, it might take a week, it might take 2 weeks just to fix one mistake. But guaranteed, if you fix like 6, 7, 8 mistakes that you commonly do, your gameplay is going to become way better, because most of the times you die are due to those mistakes. Well, then you're not going to be dying to those mistakes. Sure, you'll be dying to other mistakes, but again, you just fix them there. And technically, if you fix every single one of your mistakes, which is almost impossible, then you're not going to die anymore. That's why pro players don't die as much, because they realize what mistakes they do and they fix it so they don't make the same mistake over and over again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you slap that like button. Make sure you comment what you want to see for a future video. Hit that subscribe button and use creator code WraithFN in the item shop. You guys already know, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.